Hey everyone, Piano Man Chuck here, back again with the Casio Privia Pro PX-5S. And in the past, I've been talking about stage settings and giving you ideas of how to understand what they are and so on and so forth. But I've never really actually demoed them, so I'd like to start doing that now. And since there's 100 stage settings, I'd like to break that up into groups of 10. Today we'll cover 00 through 09. And basically what these stage settings are, the prearranged ones that come out of the box, is what Casio thought might be ideal for any particular stage setting that you might choose. So, and again, it's more or less of a template per stage setting so that you can modify it to your own, however you want to do it. So let's start off with stage setting 00, which is labeled Concert Grand. You can label it anything you want. And again, there's 4 zones per stage setting, which if you think of a 4-channel mixer, each strip of that mixer controls a different stage, a different instrument basically. Now this goes beyond that because within those zones, you can control what portion of the piano, and if you strike the key harder than usual, it can produce a completely different effect. And they've even taken it to the extent where once you're playing something, if you release off of that key, that can produce a completely different effect. So it gets pretty intense and very creative. So let's start off with this Concert Grand stage setting, which is 00, and as I play, you're seeing it's basically just a Concert Grand piano. So if I go over to the second zone on here, they see that there is a concert strings setting that might go pretty well with this. So it's off right now, but I'm going to turn it on. So I'm playing both the piano and the strings together. And I can control stuff like I want the piano on the left side, strings on the right, and so on and so forth. But anyway, let's go and see what they have on the third zone. And they have in the guitar section, they have the Acoustic Bass 1 pre-programmed. Let's turn that on so we can hear all 3 of what we're doing right now: the piano, the strings, and now the bass. And it seems as though with the strings, when I'm playing softly, that's one effect, and when I play louder, the strings seem to come in much more quickly. And if I go to the 4th zone on that, Air Electric Piano 1, I can change that to anything else I want, but basically you get the idea for 00. Now let's go to bank 01, which is labeled stage setting Air Electric Piano 1. And the settings they have on here, all 4 zones are set to Air Electric Piano 1. So basically this is more or less a blank template to do what you want with. You can choose whatever instruments or presets to assign to each zone. Let's go to stage setting 02. 60s Reed EP is the name, EP being electric piano, of this particular stage setting. And let's see what those 4 zones are. We've got an Air 60s EP1 on zone 1. Go to zone 2. Okay, usually when you see Air E piano, it's basically you set it to whatever you want. That's more of a default setting. So on 2 we have really just that. If we go to 3, illuminated, now we really get into a pretty cool stage setting. And hence the name, illuminated. Well, let's see how they did that. On zone 1 they have the grand piano concert. And on zone 2, they have a hex layer U50, and they labeled that Zone 2 tone. We'd have to go into that further to break it down to see what they actually did, but so we see it's a different effect when I play lower and when I play in higher. Okay, let's see what they have on Zone 3. Zone 3 is off, and again, whenever you see the Air Electric Piano 1, it basically is nothing. You would set that for whatever you want to set it to, and I suspect 4, yes, is also the same thing. Okay, let's go to stage setting 4. Auto Wah Clav 1 is what they're calling the stage setting, and the instrument in Zone 1 is a Wah Clavy 1. Let's see what that sounds like. Anyway, that's pretty cool. The second zone is off, and it's Air Electric Piano, so they're all like that. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's go to 5. And it's called Orchestra Glock Timpani. Let's see what that is. Yeah, sounds like an orchestra. And since there's a timpani in there, I suspect that if I hit these keys harder, I'm going to hear a timpani. Yes. Cool. And that's just Zone 1 that we're looking at. That's that hex layer. If we go to Zone 2, electric piano, and yeah, Air E-Piano 1. So basically, you can add whatever you want to that. And that was 5. Let's go to stage setting 6. It's called Distorted Org, which I'm assuming is an organ. And what they have in Zone 1 is called Zone 1 tone, and let's see what that sounds like. Sure that as you move some of these knobs and sliders, you're changing what you can play with this or how it affects the sound. And as I move each one of these, you can see what it's doing over here on this display and what it's controlling. Pretty cool, huh? Let's go to stage setting 07. Ice castles. That's a pretty interesting one. Let's see what they got. I'm playing it lightly now. And if I give it a little more pressure, much fuller. Yeah, what was that? Let's see what they have on Zone 2 of this. A piano pad, which is off. Let's turn it on and see how that changes things. go to zone 3 to see what they have here. Yeah, it's another piano pad. Okay. Let's go to stage setting 08. It's called Rainy Days. That's the name of this stage setting. And they got a hex layer for zone 1's tone called zone 1 tone. What does that sound like? A slightly different effect when I play it a little bit harder as opposed to playing it regular. Harder, I'm getting more of a steady thing, and lower velocity, getting more of an arpeggiator. Let's see what they have on zone 2. A synth bass, that's on. On zone 3, yeah, okay. All right, now the last one in the 00 settings, bank 09. Let's see what that is. It's called U2 with a question mark. And standard set 4 is on zone 1. That tells me it's a drum kit. So as long as I'm holding this down, I'm playing a drum kit. And if I switch to a different note, like F, I'm hearing it in F. If I play these lightly, I basically seamlessly change from one to another. But if I play it harder, you hear that kind of bell. So what do they have on zone 2 here? I'm curious. It's another hex layer. And on zone 3, they have a crunch electric guitar. And on zone 4, they have a synth bass 3. So you're hearing all of that stuff to make up this. Anyway, that's it for bank 0 through 09 of the stage settings. Hope you enjoyed that. Piano Man Chuck, thanks for watching.